I can see Mary.
Yes, I can see you. Now, I have a question for everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
paying extra for the Zoom.
No.
No,
There's a 40-minute limit. Is that right?
that's not on this account. That's on your own personal
I have a
account.
question for everybody. Oh, okay.
Just one second. So there are two types of Zoom accounts. So there's the basic one, which is what I've got at 40 minutes. That's it. And there's what we've got. And if you look at Kevin, his picture says Mosaic Liberal.
All right.
He's the host. He is logged in. We have an account. Mosaic has two accounts. Two accounts. One set up for Reform, one set up for us. But we, in truth, we all three synagogues share them. These two links. It's paid for. It costs about £15 a month, and we get unlimited time, and we get virtually unlimited numbers.
So as long as we're on your link,
Yes,
we're not limited.
it's not
That's
your own.
right.
No.
Okay, brilliant.
Right, I'd like to know we've got some special guests. First of all, Alan and Brenda, welcome. Can you hear us? Wave if you can hear us.
Collins coming on.
Yo, Connect Audio, you're nearly there, Alan. And Mon Collins, I told you we had a few special guests. Ron.
All right. Well, now,
Hi.
Hello, Ron. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you all.
Say hello to everyone.
Heavens, it's Mr. Collins from Sri Lanka.
Oh, right, yeah. I got there quicker than you from elsewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely to see you.
Yes, this is most unusual for me because I tune in to Bessborough Road. Hello. I tune into Bessborough Road every Saturday, but there's only one camera. It's stuck up in the corner of the sanctuary. And I get the service, but I never see you. So this is great.
That's right. That's right.
You're all there, but you're all looking well. You're all shut up this week, are you?
Yeah. Every week. It'll be like this for well, at least another month, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You'll say hello, Mika.
we haven't done too bad because
There they are.
we're only a small country of 2.44 million, and we've only had very limited fatalities.
That's a little girl.
Which is good. But we've got no visitors. They've all gone home, virtually all gone home, except some of the Italians who brought it over with them. You know.
Oh, that's very kind of them. No, the cricket was cancelled out there, wasn't it? And
yeah, but I've been shut up longer than you. I've been shut up now for just about 4 weeks. Just coming up 4 weeks. So you know, can't go out. But fortunately, we can get essential services. But you know, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I think, Ron, come Tuesday morning, I think it's 4 weeks for us.
Yeah, it's pretty
Is that
close.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're already past 4 weeks.
Yeah.
4.5.
Do Waitrose deliver in Sri Lanka, Ron? Do Waitrose deliver? There is, funnily enough, there is a British.
Oh, Mary.
Mary, hello, Mary.
Hello, how are you?
There's a fine, darling. There's a British on board shop, but we've also got an Italian delicatessen here, who's very expensive. But I mean, but the worst thing is that being diabetic, unlike my free service from the National Health, I have to pay for everything here. So you know, all my diabetic stuff is costing about £50 a month, so it's quite expensive. But,
Yeah, I'm doing it.
but in any case, you know, the weather's fine, and it's great to see you all.
Now, can you see at the bottom? Has the
I think
picture come through
Shirley-
yet?
is that Shirley your picture? I think you had problems. Shirley, can you hear us? Bottom right.
Shirley herself,
Yeah. Having that pound shop.
I think she's walked away from the
No, we're
screen.
back to where we are.
Hello.
Kevin,
Yeah.
Well,
can
we
you
have a-
mute everybody?
Oh,
I'll unmute Shirley.
Okay. Right, okay, have a go at that. I'm just going to mute you temporarily, just
Well,
because I want to go test with Shirley.
I did now.
Right.
Okay,
Shirley,
see if I can go back.
Shirley, we can hear you. Shirley. Oh, we've lost you.
Okay.
The alternatives, you might have to do it through streaming. I know Stefan did some work and myself. I think we got Alan.
Hello, Alan.
We got a good turnout apart from our service taker. We got Mika as well.
Mika's taking the service.
Yeah. Well, I would rather it be Toby the tortoise, but we kind of think.
Yeah.
What do you want? What?
I mean, it might be worth doing.
There's Alan
Having
Solomon.
The
Hefzibah.
Kevin,
Yes.
it might be worth next week getting. We'll dig out the membership list and people having problems logging on. I can ring them and
Yeah,
hopefully
sure.
talk through it.
Well, I've spoken to Shirley in the week as a Stefford, so they probably need to come to us because we've got that. The judging potential calls, but it's worth looking into. Anyone who has got problems and would like to at least try it out. Tavanya's here.
I'm not sure what you want.
She's gone. Oh, there she is.
Yes, she's here. Shabbat Shalom, Anya.
No,
We're
she's
still
not
missing.
managed.
We're still missing our service taker, Gwendolyn. She does know she's doing it today because supposedly yesterday.
Well, Kevin, worst case, if she doesn't turn up, we have Joseph here,
Yeah,
With friends.
and
yeah. We'll just keep going. Yeah.
at the drop of the hat, Joseph can take a service. And when it comes to, if it comes to the tourist section, we can just improvise on
Yeah,
that.
improvise. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm hoping the idea is they turn up 15 minutes early just so that we can. Yep. Hello.
Morning, everyone. Can you hear me? It's Alan.
Yeah, Shabbat Shalom, Alan.
Shabbat Shalom, Alan. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, good morning. Hello, Ron.
Hello, Alan. How are you?
Hi, Ron.
Hi.
Shabbat Shalom, Alan.
Shalom. Who's that?
Yes, same to you.
Someone's phone.
Yeah. Better answer that. Might be the phone.
We'll be on mute.
Yeah, I'll switch my phone.
Cynthia.
Yeah, but it'll be on mute. Oh.
It's Alan.
Shabbat Shalom, Rania.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Rania. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you.
Kevin.
Yeah, I'm going to phone Gwendolyn now just to check where she is. I put myself on mute.
Kevin.
Yeah.
We got Shirley Ariel's number. If you text it to me, her phone number.
Can we
If
leave?
not, I can go and dig it out. I'll ring her. Have you got?
I need to speak to Gwendolyn first. So.
Okay, I'll go and get Shirley's phone number and ring her.
On the synagogue clip, yes. If you don't mind, I'll just go to this.
Hello, Joy. Lovely to see you.
Oh, it's
You.
Wait, hold on.
Hello.
Hello, Anna.
Hello. Hello, I'm Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
Oh, hi, Shirley. Mark is trying to get through to you.
Oh, Gwendolyn's on now.
You need to tell her I'm going to give her a ring.
Gwendolyn's made it, right.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mark, Mark, phone again.
I think, Adrian, with Shirley, I think there was problems with her camera anyway.
Oh, is it? Okay, then.
We don't know them, but through your however know everyone.
Right, the phone is engaged. I think she's using dial-up.
Adrian, can you leave Shirley, because we knew that there's a problem with her camera. Okay.
Yeah, Daniel. Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm dialing the phone. The line is engaged. The chances are she's trying to dial in or something.
Okay. I think.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes.
It's Shirley speaking. Mark can't get through to you. He can't seem to open it up. I've sent it to him, but he can't seem to get to it.
There's a 1 minute before the service starts, so we'll leave it for now. You can hear us.
Just one, Kevin, just 1 second.
Mark can't join in.
Right.
Oh,
are you with Shirley?
Yes.
It's Adrian Cohen. Are you together at home?
No. He's in his place and I'm in
Right.
mine.
Okay. So you're having problems with your audio. I'm going to
Now, I
ring
can
you.
hear you, but Mark can't.
Right, you should have a start video at the bottom of your screen somewhere. What device are you on?
No, can I interrupt you here? Shirley's got a problem with her camera at the moment.
Forget the camera.
Fine,
It's
okay.
Camera, we've been through this. Wait. With Mark, try and get him to go on streaming if he can.
Mark, can you see a picture?
Shabbat shalom, hepzibah.
You all ready?
I'll sit there.
It's in Zoom. Can you press it? Is it in blue?
I don't know. Well, what are the
Press
question
it
marks?
with your mouse.
Hmm? Oh, that's Ron Collins.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. But
No,
George, I can
Is it
see.
in blue?
Joseph
Press it.
holding
Press it. Press it.
Where's my cap? Yeah. It's very small. Where's my bag? I got a bigger one.
I'm sitting very low, obviously. They're all looking at that
Hepzibah Hall.
Yeah, has the picture come up?
How do we see other people? Oh, I see.
Hello, Mary.
Hello.
hello, everybody.
Hello.
Due to
Yeah. Well, then press it underneath. Underneath it will say start video. Press that.
Is that Joy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Joy.
Hello, Joy.
Hello, everybody.
Shalom.
Can I just make a suggestion? Anyone who joins the service for the first time, perhaps have a trial run on the Friday rather than on the Saturday.
Hold on a moment.
Trying to start from afresh because I'm available through the week.
Kevin,
Yeah.
is your landline free at the moment? Because I will ask Mark to phone you, then maybe you can help him.
Yeah, during the week. I'll phone him during the week, but services I can't give technical help just 1 minute past 11.
Okay.
Yeah, tell him perhaps he could do the interactive thing. This is
Kevin.
advice to anyone. Yeah.
Guys, you can call me. My
Kevin.
number
Call Daniel, yeah.
0208.
Hold on. Let's get a pen. Hold on.
Anna.
Hello.
Daniel Brown.
He's muted.
02.
08.
Yeah, 8.
Oh,
8, yeah. 0208, yeah.
08.
Yeah.
5302.
5322.
No, 5302. 0208
0208 5302. Yes, what's the next bit?
No. 0208 908 5302.
Right, I'll just repeat that. 8508 5302.
Sorry about this. Daniel, can perhaps send a message to Shirley. Daniel, can you send it in a message?
You know, there's so much noise. I can't hear.
Everyone else, then I would talk to you.
All right. Okay.
Can you ring Shirley outside of the service and
Kevin.
sorted later? Okay, I'm gonna.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm going to ring Shirley in a moment, and I'll
Thank you.
I will ring you. So if you get Mark to free up the line,
Yeah.
I will ring him and do my best. Okay.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Adrian.
Going muted now.
Right. Okay. Right, everyone's muted. Sorry about all that. I always say to people, come to speak to me in a week and we can help get you set up. And it's always a bit difficult when it actually comes to 10 minutes before the service, people asking me, how do you get on? But anyway, this is all part of the new technology. So having got that out of the way, I would like to welcome Gwendolyn. Hello, Gwendolyn.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, it's at the moment, it's me and Gwendolyn muted. For those who are new to this, welcome. First of all, welcome Mom for Sri Lanka. Mary, give us a wave, Mary, who won't be taking over the singing. There's Vanya from France, and we've got a few other people. Oh, Alan and Brenda, this is your first time on this platform as well. Oh, no, you're here last week, sorry. Yeah, okay. How it works is that apart from Gwendolyn and Joseph, everyone would need to be muted, especially where there's singing. Please do not put yourself on mute, because it's, even if you're a good singer, it will take it completely out of synchronization. So there might be occasions where you'll be asked to say a prayer, so do that, then mute yourself afterwards. So there will be a bit of interaction. And it's just welcome Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn normally does Friday night services, so it seems strange seeing her on a Saturday.
It's just on Saturdays as well.
Yeah, I know you're here. So I've got this Friday night feeling at the moment. But anyway, as we get going, it'll feel like a Saturday service. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope you enjoy our interactive service. And I'm now going to even mute myself. And
Kevin, just before you mute yourself, so I need to check who we have doing what. So I believe that Alan is reading the Haftarah for us today.
Yes.
So we've got Alan, have we?
Yeah, and that's it. Nobody's opening the ark or anything like that. So
Nobody's opening the ark.
Yeah.
But I would like somebody to say that there's a couple more things. So there's the community blessings, there's the Torah blessings and reading the Torah translation. So has anybody got a yahrzeit or something this week that they would like particularly to do something? Or otherwise, would somebody like to volunteer to do one or all of those things? Who would like to do Torah blessings?
Put the hand up at the time, maybe. Tell somebody to put the hand up at the time. Or maybe, Alan, would you like to do the Torah blessings?
Solomon, is it? Because somebody said Alan doing the Haftarah. I don't know, is that Alan Hunt? Oh, right. So I will do the blessings for the Torah, yes?
Yeah.
Have we got more than one Alan?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay. So I've got one Alan doing the Haftarah and another Alan doing the Torah blessings. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, Alan, would you also be able to read the translation of the Torah? Do you have a Chumash with you?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, great. So if you could do the Torah blessings and read the translation, that would be lovely. Who would like to do the... It's Leviticus chapter 10, if you want to find it in advance.
Which verses?
1 to 11.
Leviticus 10, 1 to 11. Okay.
That's right. Now, who would like to do the community blessings?
Brenda.
Oh, is that Brenda? That's lovely. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, perfect. So let's now start our service by turning to page 129.
Gwendolyn, can I say one more thing? So this was my fault. We're also Rosh Chodesh. Did you realise that?
Yes, thank you to Joseph for pointing that out.
Oh, yeah.
So when we get to the right point, we'll mention Rosh Chodesh Iyar. And we're also going to count Omer today. Now, I have a lot of feedback coming to me. Can you hear me? I think you might have to mute out. Oh, okay, that's better now. Yeah, great. Okay, let's turn to page 129. I'm not going to say please stand at all during the service. I'm going to stay sitting down the whole time. If people would like to stand or sit at any particular point, if it's your custom to stand, then please feel free to do whatever's comfortable for you. Let's turn to page 129 and Joseph will lead off for us with Matovu.
Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael, Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael, Vani barov chasacha, avovetecha, eshtacha ve'echechal kodshecha, ve'yiratecha. Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael, Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael, Adonai ahavti, Ma'on beitecha, u'makom mishkan kavodecha, mishkan kvodecha, v'ani ashtachaveh, ve'echracha, evracha livnei Adonai, osi, Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael, Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael. Vani tefilati lecha, Adonai et ratzon, Elohim barov chazdecha, Elohim barov chazdecha, Aneni be'emet yisheha, Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael, Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael, Mishkanotecha Yisrael.
Thank you. Source of light, of truth, and of the impulse within us towards justice and mercy, may this hour of worship be one of vision and inspiration. Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Let the words we speak enter our hearts and influence our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in search of you or in need of comfort and consolation. May the offering of their hearts be acceptable to you, and may the prayers we utter here bear fruit in acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You sanctify us with your commandments and enjoin us to study your teachings. With what shall I approach the Eternal One? How shall I worship the God of heaven? Shall I come before God with burnt offerings or with yearling calves? Will God be pleased with thousands of rams or with 10,000 rivers of oil? Should I give my firstborn for my transgressions, the fruit of my body for the sins of my soul? People tell you what is good, but what does the Eternal One require of you? Only to do justly and love mercy and walk humbly with your God. These are actions which bring benefit here and now, but whose full value can be measured only in the light of eternity. Honoring one's father and mother, acts of love and kindness, diligent pursuit of knowledge and wisdom, hospitality to strangers, visiting the sick, enabling bride and groom to rejoice, consoling the bereaved, praying with sincerity, and making peace where there is strife. And the study of Torah leads to them all. Eternal God, may the words of Torah taste sweet to us and to all Israel, that we and our children and all the children of your people may come to know you by studying Torah. We praise you, O God, teacher of your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. We're now on page 132. Praise be the one at whose command the world came to be. We praise you, O God, sovereign of the universe, worshipped by your people, lauded and glorified by those who love and serve you. With songs of praise we extol you and proclaim your sovereignty, sole source of the life of all worlds. We praise you, sovereign God, to whom all praise is due. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mehulal batishbachot. Joseph, I thought we might sing Nishmat. Are you able to do that? It's on page 125 in service 4. Is that putting you on the spot?
That's fine.
נשמת כל חי, תברך את שמך. אדוני אלוהינו, ורוח כל בשר, תפאר ותרומם, זכרך מלכנו תמיד. העולם ועד העולם אתה
We turn now to page 133, 1 through 3, and a poem at the bottom of the page by Yosef Tzvi Rimon. How shall I sing of day and night when it is God who formed them? How shall I sing of heaven and earth when it is God who founded them? How shall I sing of mountains and hills when it is God who planted them? How shall I sing of deserts and seas when it is God who begot them? How shall I sing of earth and her fullness when it is God who bade them be? I shall sing of the one who fashioned them all, the one who is above them all. Of God, God alone, I shall sing.
Hallelujah, 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 Bakira Uzo. Hallelujah, 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 big Buratav. Hallelujah, hallelujah, of good Lord. Hallelujah, 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 Bateka Shofar. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Neval Vakino. Hallelujah, 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 Batov Umahol. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Baminim Baukav. Hallelujah, 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 but silsile shama. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, silsile trua. Kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, kol hanshama, tahalelia, hallelujah. Kol hanshama, tahalelia, hallelujah.
ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו, האל המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ. כי לך נאה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, שיר ושבחה, הלל וזמרה, ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בשירי זמרה. We praise you, O God. May you accept our songs of praise. Joseph, would you lead the Baruch for us?
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah. Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Leolam Vaed. You're muted, Gwendolyn. You're muted.
Unmute yourself, Gwendolyn.
I'd go back to the top of page 136. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvore choshech, oseh shalom uvore et hakol, hameir la'aretz veladarim aleha barachamim, uvetuvo machadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, mal'a ha'aretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, va'al me'orei or she'asita, yifa'arucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai, yotzer ha'ma'orot. We praise you, O God, creator of light. Great is your love for us, eternal God, and abundant your compassion. Our ancestors trusted in you, and you taught them the laws of life. So be gracious to us and teach us. Incline our hearts to hear your words, to know and understand, to learn and teach, and with love to uphold the truths of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching. Make us faithful to your commandments and wholehearted in the love and awe of your name. For in love you summon us to serve you and proclaim your unity. We praise you, O God. In love you have called your people Israel to serve you. Baruch ata Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'ahava.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malchut
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Good and beautiful and true, sound, established and enduring are these words, now and forever. True it is, eternal one, that you are our sovereign God and Redeemer, as you were the God and Redeemer of our ancestors. You are our Maker, the rock of our salvation. We have known you always as our helper and our liberator. There is no God but you. Truly you are first and you are last. We have no Redeemer but you. You redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. Then with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song.
Mi chamocha Elim Adonai, mi chamocha b'kodesh Torah tehilot osei fele Nora tehilot osei fele שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים לשמך שפת הים יחד כולם הודו וכמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צאו ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
So we turn now to the Amidah, which is on page 140. And let's start by singing the opening line.
Do you want to do it or do you want me?
Would you like to lead it?
Adonai sefetai tiftach ufi agita gilatecha. Adonai sefetai tiftach ufi agita gilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Koneh Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם. בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים. ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום ככתוב על יד נביאך.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, ולא כל הארץ כבודו.
כבודו מלא עולם.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו.
ממקומך מלכנו תופיע, ותמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך.
ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We praise you, eternal one, the holy God. You inspired our ancestors to hallow this day for your service. When upon its coming we pause to contemplate our life, we learn anew that we do not live by bread alone, but also by the spiritual nourishment we receive when we open ourselves to your influence. We thank you for the Sabbath day and for the opportunity it offers to enhance the quality of our lives. We thank you for its joy and its peace. May our worship help us to take into our hearts its message of holiness and consecrate all our days by devotion to what is true, beautiful, and good.
ישמחו במלכותך, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג. המקדש שביעי, המקדש שביעי, כולם ישבעו ויתענגו מטומאך. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו, והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו. עמדת ימים אותו קראת, זכר המעשה למעשה בראשית.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רוצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך. שבענו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והנחילנו, אדוני אלוהינו, באהבה וברצון, שבת קודשך, וינוחו בך ישראל, מקדשי שמך. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael, utefilatam ba'ahava tekabel, utehi leratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadacha b'yira na'avod. We praise you, O God, whom alone we worship in reverence. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו לעולם ועד. צור חיינו, מגן אישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. נודה לך ונספר תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך שבכל עת ערב ובוקר וצהריים. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. Grant peace, welfare, and blessing, grace, love, and mercy to us and to all Israel, your people. As a loving parent, bless us with the light of your presence. For by the light of your presence, eternal God, you have revealed to us the law of life, a love of kindness and righteousness, blessing and mercy, life and peace. For it is good in your sight that your people Israel and all peoples be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Oseh HaShalom. And we now have some time for silent reflection.
Iu razzonim refi, Iu razzonim refi, Begion libi lefanecha, Adonai suri v'goali, Ose shalom bimramov, Uyase shalom aleinu, Be'al kol Yisrael, Be'al kol bnei Adam.
So before we go to the Torah service, I thought that we might count the Omer. I don't know if you regularly do this, but someone pointed out that at the moment we lose track of the days. Every day is very much the same. And maybe counting the Omer, which are the days between Pesach and Shavuot, might be a way of helping us to keep track of the days. So I found actually a couple of years ago, I found a website where you can count the Homer. I don't know if you can see this. I thought that might liven things up for us a bit this morning. So I'm just going to say the prayer. And maybe if you want to count the Omer during this period leading up to Shavuot, you might look for that website. If you Google counting the Homer, it will come up. So, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer. Blessed are you, eternal one, our God, sovereign of all worlds, who has made us holy with your mitzvot and commanded us concerning the counting of the Omer. Hayom tish'a yamim shehem shavua echad u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is the 9th day, making 1 week and 2 days of the Omer. And then I realized when we allocated all the honors at the beginning of the service, I forgot about the themed reading. We're not going to do the themed reading now. We're going to do it after my Devar Torah. So there's still time. It would be helpful if we could have 2 people who are in the same Zoom room to do the themed reading, because I thought it'd be nice to do a 2-handed reading where you read one paragraph each alternately, rather than it being all on one person. So I'm looking at rooms where I can see 2 people, and I can see people, yes, I can see lots of people now saying yes. Who should we go for, Kevin?
I think we're going to go for the Zats because they missed out on their mitzvah last Shabbat by an unfortunate misunderstanding. So sorry,
Perfect.
anyone else who actually volunteered. You will get your chances, I promise.
That's lovely. So when we get to it, which will be after the end of the Torah service, I'll ask you to do the themed reading for us, which if you want to have it ready, is Consolation on page 177. Okay, so we now turn to our Torah service, which is on page 481.
Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yavarech et amo b'shalom.
So we'll now imagine that we've taken the Torah scroll out of the ark, and here's my Torah reading, and we will say the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadalu Adonai iti, uneromama Shemo yachdav.
Lacha Adonai, Hagdula, Bahagvura, Bahatiferet, Bahanetza, Bahahot, Bahanetza, Bahahot, Ichol, Bashamayim, Uvaretz, Lacha Adonai, Hamamlacha, Hamidnaseh, Ahol, Larosh.
So this week's Torah portion is Shemini, and it's Leviticus chapters 9 to 11, which covers 3 themes. First of all, Aaron's first service as high priest, then the deaths of Nadav and Avihu, 2 of Aaron's sons, and then in chapter 11, the rules of kashrut. I have chosen to read about the deaths of Nadav and Avihu in Leviticus chapter 10, verses 1 to 11. I felt that these sudden and unexplained deaths might have something to tell us now as we struggle to understand the rising death toll from coronavirus and the impact on ourselves and our communities. Commentaries on Leviticus chapter 10 come up with a myriad of reasons for the deaths of Nadav and Avihu. All we know is that they use strange or alien fire. We don't even know if their deaths are a punishment or a tragic accident or something else. Here are some of the explanations. One is that they followed an idolatrous practice. They were drunk. They were too enthusiastic. They were improperly dressed. They entered the Holy of Holies. They were disrespectful to Aaron or to Moses. They were not married, and so on. All these explanations show that we just don't know why they died. And I'm very grateful to my husband for pointing out that this chapter was also the inspiration for a very dramatic scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I was able to watch on YouTube. I don't suggest you look for it now, but you might want to look for it later. So in a moment, we're going to ask Alan to say the blessings for us. Two things to look out for during the reading. The first is the Hebrew word to die, lamut, appears quite a few times. There's vayamutu, they died. And there's lotamutu, you will not die. And pentamutu, lest you will die. So you can look out for that if you want to listen to the Hebrew. I particularly want you to pay attention in this reading and also in the Haftarah to what happens after the deaths, how the family and the community respond to the deaths. So Alan, I'm afraid I didn't ask your Hebrew name. Would you like to say it for us?
Certainly, yes. Avraham ben Reuben.
Avraham ben Reuben. Would you go ahead, please?
And for those who might have a Samsina Chumash, chapter 10 of Leviticus starts on page 655, and it's in the JPS Tanakh on page 167. Baruchu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
Amen.
Now Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, each took his firepan, put fire in it, and laid incense on it. And they offered before the Lord alien fire, which he had not enjoined upon them. And fire came forth from the Lord and consumed them. Thus they died at the instance of the Lord. Then Moses said to Aaron, "This is what the Lord meant when he said, 'Through those near to me I show myself holy and gain glory before all the people.'" And Aaron was silent. Moses called Mishael and Elzaphan, sons of Uzziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said to them, "Come forward and carry your kinsmen away from the front of the sanctuary to a place outside the camp." They came forward and carried them out of the camp by their tunics, as Moses had ordered. And Moses said to Aaron and to his sons Eleazar and Ithamar, "Do not bare your heads and do not rend your clothes, lest you die and anger strike the whole community. But your kinsmen, all the house of Israel, shall bewail the burning that the Lord has wrought. And so do not go outside the entrance of the tent of meeting, lest you die, for the Lord's anointing oil is upon you." And they did as Moses had bidden. And the Lord spoke to Aaron, saying, "Drink no wine or other intoxicant, you or your sons, when you enter the tent of meeting, that you may not die. This is a law for all time throughout the ages. For you must distinguish between the sacred and the profane, and between the unclean and the clean. And you must teach the Israelites all the laws which the Lord has imparted to them through Moses." Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'hayei olam natah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah. I should have waited, of course, until you read the Hebrew. I'll do it again after you read the Hebrew.
Gwendolyn, unmute yourself.
Okay. I just say I'm going to do the Torah reading now. I'm going to chant it. And one of the interesting things about this, if you're interested in the rules of chanting, is that there's some very unusual cantillation marks in this section. I don't know whether that has a particular spiritual meaning, but it's been an interesting journey looking at it. Vayikachu v'nei Aharon Nadav Avihu ish machtato vayitnu vahen esh vayasimu alea ketoret vayakrivu lifnei Adonai esh zara asher lo tziva otam ותצא אש מלפני אדוני ותאכל אותם וימותו לפני אדוני. ויאמר משה אל אהרון הוא אשר דיבר אדוני לאמור בקרבי אקדש על פני כל העם אכבד. וידום אהרון ויקרא משה אל מישאל ואל אלצפן בני עוזיאל דוד אהרון ויאמר עליהם כי רבו שאו את אחיכם מאת פני הקודש אל מחוץ למחנה ויקרבו ויישאום בחותנותם אל מחוץ למחנה כאשר דיבר משה. ויאמר משה אל אהרון ולאלעזר ולאיתמר בניו ראשיכם אל תפרעו ובגדיכם לא תפרומו ולא תמותו ועל כל העדה יקצוף ואחיכם כל בית ישראל יבכו את השרפה אשר שרף אדוני ומפתח אוהל מועד לא תצאו פן תמותו כי שמן משחת אדוני עליכם ויעשו כדבר משה. וידבר אדוני אל אהרון לאמור יין ושחר אל תשת אתה ובניך איתך בבואכם אל אוהל מועד ולא תמותו. חוקת עולם לדורותיכם ולהבדיל בין הקודש ובין החול ובין הטמא ובין הטהור ולהורות את בני ישראל את כל החוקים אשר דיבר אדוני עליהם ביד משה.
And for the second time, sorry about that, just getting my money's worth. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Right, do Hagba, you can lift it up.
We seem to have lost Joseph, so I'm just going to sing Baruch Shenatan Torah L'Amo Yisrael B'Kedushato. Please sit down, everybody. And now we go to our Haftarah. The Haftarah is 2 Samuel chapter 6. So the second book of Samuel, chapter 6, verses 1 to 19. It's the traditional Haftarah, so it should be, if you've got a Chumash, it should be the next thing in your Chumash. This also concerns a sudden death. This time it's Uzzah, who tries to steady the ark as it's carried up towards Jerusalem. And the other Alan is going to read for us.
Yes, this parasha is from second book of Samuel, chapter 6, verses 1 to 19. It consists basically of 2 anecdotes. The first, as Gwendolyn has says, is regards the fate of Uzzah, the guy who tries to steady the ark as it's being the Ark of the Covenant, as it's being taken to Jerusalem on an ox cart. And for his pains, he is struck dead, which to me hardly seems to be action of a just and merciful God. And then later on, we are told that as the ark approaches Jerusalem, David is dancing very, very vigorously. And we're told that he is wearing a linen ephod. And the implication seems to be that he hasn't got much on underneath. And as he dances, his wife, Michal, the daughter of King Saul, is very, very cross with him indeed because of his display. And in fact, if we read later on, beyond the passage I'm reading, you will see there that Michal is extremely displeased with her husband, takes him to task quite unbearably, and as a result, she is punished by God by not being able to have children. So again, hardly the acts one would say of a just and merciful God. The portion I'm reading, Kevin, can you help me out with the page numbers, please? Because I have the Hebrew English version of the Tanakh, and I know the page numbers will be different in the ordinary Tanakh and or in the Sonsino Chumash.
Could I throw that open to somebody else? Because this is one thing I haven't organised. Alan.
Yes, it's 2 Samuel chapter 6, I think Alan said, which is in the JPS Tanakh on page 478, 478.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacha b'yamim tovim v'ratza b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'nvi'ei ha'emet b'tzedek. David again assembled all the picked men of Israel, 30,000 strong. Then David and all the troops that were with him set out from Baalim of Judah to bring up from there the ark of God, to which the name was attached, the name Lord of Hosts enthroned of a cherubim. They loaded the ark of God onto a new cart and conveyed it from the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill. And Abinadab's sons, Uzzah and Achio, guided the new cart. They conveyed it from Abinadab's house on the hill, Uzzah walking alongside the ark of God, and Achio walking in front of the ark. Meanwhile, David and all the house of Israel danced before the Lord to the sound of all kinds of cypress wood instruments, with lyres, harps, timbrels, sistrums, and cymbals. But when they came to the threshing floor of Nakon, Uzzah reached out to the ark of God and grasped it, for the oxen had stumbled. The Lord was incensed at Uzzah, and God struck him down on the spot for his indiscretion, and he died there beside the ark of God. David was distressed because the Lord had inflicted a breach upon Uzzah, and that place was named Perez Uzzah, as it is still called. David was afraid of the Lord that day. He said, "How can I let the ark of the Lord come to me?" So David would not bring the ark of the Lord to his place in the city of David. Instead, David diverted it to the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite. The ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite, 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and his whole household. It was reported to King David, "The Lord has blessed Obed-Edom's house and all that belongs to him because of the ark of God." Thereupon David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to the city of David amid rejoicing. When the bearers of the ark of the Lord had moved forward 6 paces, he sacrificed an ox and a fatling. David whirled with all his might before the Lord. David was girt with a linen ephod. Thus David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouts and with blasts of the horn. As the ark of the Lord entered the city of David, Michal, daughter of Saul, looked out of the window and saw King David leaping and whirling before the Lord, and she despised him for it. They brought in the ark of the Lord and set it up in its place inside of a tent which David had pitched for it. And David sacrificed burnt offerings and offerings of well-being before the Lord. When David finished sacrificing the burnt offerings and the offerings of well-being, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts, and he distributed among all the people, the entire multitude of Israel, man and woman alike, to each a loaf of bread, a cake made in a pan, and a raisin cake. Then all the people left for their homes. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sua kol haolamim, sadik v'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'oser, ha'medaber u'mekayem, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanveim v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatzata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, l'kedusha v'lemnucha, l'chavod u'letif'aretz. Al ha'kol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, muvarachim otach, yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai, tamid li'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. Let's go now to Brenda, who's going to read the community blessings for us on page 484 of the Siddur.
No, the community.
Wait a minute, I didn't hear you because you're muted.
Before that, don't we have the prayer for the royal family?
Oh, yes, I thought Brenda would read all 3 prayers for us.
Yeah.
I will,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yes,
No
thank
problem.
you.
Eternal God, whose dominion embraces the universe, we ask your blessing for our Sovereign Lady, Queen Elizabeth, and all the royal family, for those who govern our country and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity. Eternal God, as you blessed our ancestors in generations past, bless now this congregation, its leaders and its members, and all who enter the synagogue to meet, to study and to pray. Comfort the sorrowing hearts among us and heal those in anxiety or pain. May we all find here community and friendship, renewal of purpose and hope, a deeper understanding of our heritage, and a sense of your abiding presence. Bless all congregations of the House of Israel throughout the world. Let those who live under oppressive rule soon be freed, and may we all unite to witness to your truth and do your will. Eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel, created to fulfill an age-old dream and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders, to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbours, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision that out of Zion shall go forth Torah and the word of God from Jerusalem.
Thank you, Brenda, and Alan and Alan. And we're now going to read the blessings for the new month on page 485. Eternal One, our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month be for us a time of renewal. Grant to each one of us a long life of peace, welfare, and blessing, a life of prosperity and health, a life guided by conscience, unmarred by self-reproach or shame, a life exalted by love of Torah and a reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts may be fulfilled for good. Rosh Chodesh Iyar Yihyeh B'Yom Shishi. The new month of Iyar will begin on Thursday evening and Friday. May it be the will of the Holy One ever to be praised, that it bring for us and for the whole house of Israel life and peace, happiness and joy, deliverance and consolation. And let us say Amen.
Yahad Shehu Hakadosh Baruch Hu Aleinu ve'al kol amo bet Yisrael l'chaim u'l'shalom l'sason u'l'simcha l'yeshua u'nechema v'noma amen l'shalom l'chaim l'sason u'l'simcha l'yeshua u'nechema
We turn now to page 489. Behold, a good doctrine has been given you. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
כי לך טוב נתתי להם תורתי אל תעזובו עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותאמר מאושר דרכך דרכי נועם נכון נתיבותיך Shalom. Ashivenu Adonai Elecha V'nashuva Kadesh Amenu Kakedem Kadesh Amenu
So thank you everyone who took part in our Torah service. I'm now going to talk about the reading today, the readings, and after that we will have our themed reading about consolation. So as I've already said, this week's portion is Shemini. And well, actually, I've just finished reading this book. It's called From Here to Eternity by Caitlin Doughty. The author, who's an American, travels the world seeking out unusual customs, from an outdoor funeral pyre to embalming, to the Zoroastrian communities that leave their dead out for birds of prey. And actually, although it sounds really macabre, even shocking, I found it quite comforting because it's helped me to realize that the customs we associate with death and with mourning are not universal. Our way of paying our respects to the dead and beginning the mourning process is not the only way, which is just as well, because we're living through a very challenging time. And while funerals are still permitted, the way we hold funerals and even sit shiva has changed, at least for the time being. Of course, it's not just the Jewish community that are affected. Churches and mosques are also closed. Clergy are terribly overstretched. And everyone, clergy, lay celebrants, funeral directors, bereavement charities, everyone is trying to find ways of honoring the dead and of supporting the mourners during this pandemic, and of creating meaningful services without putting anyone at risk. So is there anything in today's readings that can help us during this period of uncertainty? Both readings contain frightening and unexpected deaths, and I asked you, you'll remember, to pay particular attention to what happens after the deaths. In the case of Uzzah, who dies as King David takes the ark up to Jerusalem, we don't actually hear anything about the funeral or the reaction of his family, but we do hear that David takes this death as a very serious warning. Instead of continuing to Jerusalem, he puts everything on hold, stores the ark somewhere safe, and waits 3 months until he's certain that the danger is past. A lockdown, in fact. And so different to the reaction of Moses to the deaths of his own nephews, Nadav and Avihu. For Moses, the show must go on, regardless. He insists that Aaron and his surviving sons continue with the inauguration. He forbids them from engaging in any mourning rituals, such as tearing their clothes. And he even reprimands them for not eating their share of the offering. That's later on in Leviticus 10:17. Why? Well, Moses isn't in complete denial about the deaths. He arranges for the bodies to be removed by some cousins, Mishael and Elzaphan. He explains what must be done or not done to avoid further deaths. And he may possibly be offering words of comfort. It's difficult to tell. I know the first time someone wished me a long life, I was confused rather than comforted. And I wasn't sure why so many people wanted to see me only at simchas. I'm used to it now. So when Moses tells the mourners in verse 6, your kinsmen, all the house of Israel, will weep, I think that these are words of comfort. He means, we are all your brothers, and we will all mourn with you. You are not alone. Meanwhile, we are told, Vayidom Aharon, Aaron is silent. Either Aaron is so numb with shock that he cannot speak, or perhaps Aaron weeps until he becomes silent and he can't speak anymore. It's only at the very end of Leviticus 10, when Moses reprimands the 2 surviving sons, Eleazar and Itamar, for not eating the sacrifice, that Aaron speaks up and answers for them, remonstrating with Moses and saying, such things have befallen me. Had I eaten the offering today, would God have approved? And Moses understands. And it says, Vayitav be'enav, it was good in his eyes. So we have 2 very different responses. Moses presses on with the inauguration ritual, not perhaps as I thought at first, because he's unaffected by the deaths, or because he thinks that the simcha is more important, but because he thinks that this is the safest course of action for the survivors. He thinks the safest course is to continue, to keep going and see it through. At the very end of chapter 10, he acknowledges that God might not have God might not have wanted the bereaved father and brothers to officiate, to rejoice, to eat the sacrifice as if nothing had happened. So I think by the end of chapter 10, Moses acknowledges that maybe he's made a mistake. In our Haftarah, David takes the death of Uzzah as a warning and immediately puts all his plans on hold. It's only after 3 months, when David is sure that the danger is over, that the ark is brought up to Jerusalem with shouts and with blasts of the horn and with dancing. This Shabbat, as we continue to put all of our plans on hold, and as we look for ways to support one another through this challenging time, let's also look forward to the time when we can be certain that the danger is past. And like King David, we can at last move forwards with shouts, with the call of the shofar, and with dancing. Shabbat Shalom. Did anybody want to comment on the Dvar Torah before we have our themed reading?
I just wanted to ask, why for 3 months King David did not do anything? Why did he hide the ark?
He thought they were being punished, so he thought that he might be next or that other people might die. So he stored the ark until he felt certain that that the danger was past.
So are we to assume that Uzzah passed away because of a plague, or was he, or it would have actually affected the whole nation? And
well, it says that he touched the ark and that he died. So since they're carrying the ark up to Jerusalem, that seems like a pretty risky thing if touching the ark kills you. I don't think we know exactly why he dies. It says it made God angry that he touched the ark. That's all it says in the text. So it's a bit mysterious.
But you can contrast that and compare that with where Adonai says to Moses that no man can see me and live. The ark is a physical manifestation of him, and his divine presence is on top of the ark. So therefore, he is in effect from heaven. His power lies on the ark, and therefore no one can touch the ark and live, because in effect that is what it says in the Exodus.
Well, possibly that makes it quite dangerous to carry the ark anywhere, especially if you've got stumbling oxen who might be about to drop the ark and you want to make sure the ark, so I think that's why David puts things on hold. But maybe David is conscious of his own particular sins and thinks that he has done something specific that might be punished next.
I think there's a... You muted yourself. No, I'm not muted.
No, we can hear you, Adrian.
Yeah, I think there's also an interesting juxtaposition here between Bamidbar and Ba'aretz, and that the needs in the desert to keep going, there isn't time. Moses has got a job to get this rabble together and to forge them into a coherent unit, whereas by the time they're in much later, that Ba'aretz, there's many more threats, and the political situation and the tribal situation there is so uncertain, and maybe also David was worried about his position. So I think there's a lot of political stuff that we don't really know about here.
Thank you, Adrian. Shall we continue now with our themed reading? So page 177. Page 177. I'm going to mute myself.
Can you hear me? Isaac took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. In every life, there are times of failure and frustration, disappointment and sorrow. Sometimes we can take them in our stride, but there are times when our woes seem too many or too grievous, so that they threaten to overwhelm us, and our own resources are insufficient to sustain us. Then we need consolation. We turn to family, to neighbors, to friends, or they perceive our need and turn to us. To offer consolation.
To offer consolation to those who need it is one of our highest obligations. To accept it, though more difficult, is also right. For it's a privilege of our common humanity that we are able to support and lean on one another.
But there are times when human help is insufficient. There are roots, the sorrows whose roots the sympathy of best friends cannot reach. There are burdens so heavy that no human being can help to lift or bear them. There are some whose wounds are too raw even for a friendly touch. What must it mean to such people to know and to feel that one greater than any human being is there with a sympathy, silent but how tender, with a balm unseen but how healing, one to whom a heart can pour out its torrents of bitterness without words, a friend with the tenderness of a mother and with an understanding that is infinite.
Eternal God, help me to feel your presence even when dark shadows fall upon me, when my own weakness and the storms of life hide you from my sight. Help me to know that you have not deserted me. Uphold me with the comfort of your love.
My heart is not proud, O God, and my eyes are not haughty. On things beyond my scope no more I brood, but I have calmed and quieted my soul like a child at its mother's breast. My soul is like a comforted child. O Israel, trust in the Eternal One, now and forever.
For thus says the Eternal One, as a mother comforts her child, so will I comfort you.
O God, you are a consolation to your creatures, for in moments of forgetting, we but call to mind your care, and we are comforted. When we hope no more, a pattern in the snow reminds us of your loving kindness. Your dawns give us confidence, and sleep is a friend. Our sorrows dissipate in the presence of an infant smile, and the wise words of the old revive our will to wish. Your hints are everywhere, your signals in the most remote of places. You are here, and we lack words to say Ma Tov. How good our breath, our rushing energies, our silences of love. As a father has compassion on his children, so you, eternal God, have compassion on those who revere you. And as there are times of consolation in our individual lives, so there are times of consolation in the collective life of our people and of humanity. History is not all catastrophe. It has its liberations, achievements, and advances, and a time will surely come when goodness and happiness will prevail. Comfort now, my people, says your God.
Speak tenderly to Jerusalem and declare to her that her time of bondage is over.
For the glory of Israel's God shall be made manifest,
and all humanity united shall behold it.
The eternal God will wipe the tears from every face.
Sorrow and sighing shall flee away.
Those who share in the troubles of the community shall share in its consolation.
Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy.
I will lift up my eyes
Are
to
we not singing? Are we singing that?
I can sing it if you'd like me to. Shall I?
Adonai, Osei Shamayim va'aretz. Al yiten lamot raglecha, al yanum shomrecha, ine lo yanum, lo yishan, shomer Israel. Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilcha, al yad yeminecha, yomam v'shemesh lo yakeka, v'yarecha b'layla. Adonai yishmocha mikol ra yishmo et nafshecha. Adonai yishmo tzedcha uvoecha ve'ata ve'ad olam.
Thank you very much. I hope nobody has to be somewhere at 12:30. Well, anyway.
Waiting for us downstairs. Their most closing service anyway takes a little bit longer because they've got extra readings. So we won't rush. I think there is no deadline to this, Gwendolyn. So let's carry on as you wish to.
Good.
Okay.
Thank
Nobody's
you.
going out anywhere.
Let's carry on with the prayer for healing on page 606. 606 for the prayer for healing. May it be your will, eternal one, our God, and God of our ancestors, speedily to grant a perfect healing of body and mind to us and to all who are sick. V'yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu, shetishlach lanu mehera refuah shlema, refuat hanefesh ve'refuat haguf, v'toch she'ah hacholim. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, O God, the source of healing. And let's continue now with Aleinu on page 520. 520. Joseph?
Yep. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה להיות בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויסר הארץ, ומשב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומי. הוא אלוהינו אינו, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, קדשו בתורתו. ידעת היום בחשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת
going to continue on page 213 with Kevin's favorite text, 213. And then all that has divided us will merge, and then compassion will be wedded to power, and then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind, and then both men and women will be gentle, and both women and men will be strong, and then no person will be subject to another person's will, and then all will be rich and free and varied, and then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many, and then all will share equally in the earth's abundance, and then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old, and then all will nourish the young, and then all will cherish life's creatures, and then all will live in harmony with each other and earth, and then everywhere will be called Eden once again.
Amen.
And we return to page 521.
ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Thank you, Joseph. So we turn now to the Kaddish, which is on page 524. I have a list of names here, but maybe you know other people who've died recently or who are just in your minds at the moment, and you might like to say their names aloud in a moment. Let me read our list first. Julian Paul Adams, brother of George Adams. Simon Cohen, the father of Adrian Cohen. Claire Gordon, the cousin of Lindsay Cohen. Frances Hunt, the first wife of Alan Hunt. Louise Solomon, the father of Aubrey Scott. Did anyone want to mention any other names? We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and light, of death and life. As in our hearts we name our loved ones, we pray that the divine present will comfort us and all who mourn. Yit gadal v'yit kadash, shemei rabbah, va'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'zman kari. Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'al v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. Yisdal v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kodashah v'yichu. Ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bin Ramav, uyaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol b'nei Adam. Imru. Amen. May the Most High Source of perfect peace grant peace to us, to all Israel, and to all humanity. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
It's now announcements time. I'll just check it yet, but you can hear me. Right, okay. I always think it's nice that with the Kaddish we say it communally, although it is a little bit all over the place. And this is why throughout the service, we just have to mute you all, which sometimes I think is a pity because I do love to hear certain sounds from the congregation. First of all, thank you, Gwendolyn. We're used to your Friday night services, and obviously there's a lot more to the Saturday. I was really, the way you laid the Torah portion was wonderful. It brought a tear to my eye. Thank you very much. That was a different slant on it. And for food for thought with the sermon, especially in relation to the current times. Thank you very much, Gwendolyn. And we look forward to future Shabbat morning services, as well as when we're able to Friday night services as well from you. Also, I did notice this. Well, there was Joseph singing, but there's two other talented musicians in the virtual room. Mary, I was trying to lip read you, and I was sort of kind of imagining your dulcet tones, and of course, as well as Gwendolyn being a talented singer, I was thinking when we do reach the other side, if we can have the three of you in the same actual room, not virtual room, putting your talents, I think that is something that we should be looking forward to and to help us keep going. So thank you for everyone. Also welcome to Ron from Sri Lanka. Ron, give us a wave. I know, actually, do you want, Ron's not short of a few words, so perhaps would you like to share anything with us, Ron?
Well, I'd just like to wish everybody safe and sound, of course. And we don't have the answer when it's all going to finish. So we've just got to live from day to day as best we can. But in any case, there's really no difference wherever you are in the world. The safest thing is, of course, staying at home, and hopefully the Israelis or the company in Galilee, which is ahead of the rest of the world, will have a vaccine available in the next few weeks.
Yeah,
it's as soon as that. They're very hopeful. So reports have come in. Anyway, wish you all well.
Thank you, Ron, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, you will do. Hopefully so.
Thank you. And also welcome Manya from France as well, if you want to give us a little wave. There we are. So we've got a bit of an international feel about this service.
Oh, right. Okay. You're in France, Adrian. Is Adrian in France?
No, Manya is. So we've got somebody France. We've got France and Sri Lanka. So.
Oh, right.
And a few from Edgware, Pinner, and Harrow. And I apologise if I've missed any postcodes out. But
okay.
Next week's Shabbat service will be David Yehuda Stern, student rabbi, and he will give another good sort of alternative feel. And so I quite like the variety, the way Gwendolyn's mixed up a bit from the norm, and David normally likes to try his own thing as well, which is great. There's no rule like we have to do it in a certain order. What are we finishing up with? What's our closing hymn?
Joseph, what would you like to do?
I'm assuming we're doing Adon Olam, but if you want something else, then I'll do my best.
Don't do Adon Olam for us.
I'll do okay.
Right, make sure you're all muted.
I am, I think. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Adon Olam Hashem alach B'terem kol Yitzir nivra Le'ed nasa kechefsa kol Azai melech Shemo nikra Ve'acharei kiklot kol Lemado yimlok nora V'hu haya v'hu hoveh V'hu yireh v'tzifara V'hu ehad v'en sheni L'hamshilo l'chakbira B'li reshit b'li taglit V'lo ha'or v'hamizrah V'hu eli v'chai goli V'tzohev li v'etzara V'hu nisri u'manus li Manat kosi v'yom ekra V'yado avkid ruchi V'etishan v'achila V'imrohi gaviati Adonai li v'lo ira.
We have a final blessing on page 530. May God bless you and keep you. May God look kindly upon you and be gracious to you. May God reach out to you in tenderness and give you peace. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav alecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And we turn now to Kiddush, I think, on page 566.
All unmuted for Kiddush, but if we could probably let Gwendolyn chant it, but if we have a few background noises, we're a community, it has to happen. But I Lindsay, I just saw surprise sort of guest for Kiddush on your lap.
Kiddush has been here the whole service.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
the whole service.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tamberit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tamberit olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael ot hi le'olam, ot hi B'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'avot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tamberit olam. Sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tamberit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinabash, Shabbat vayinabash, Shabbat vayinabash, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor tamberit olam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, b'ri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim.
Is it challah or matzahs, Gwendolyn? I think
What, you're going to have your matzah, are you?
Allah.
So last night we said Shehechianu because it was the first time that we'd had challah. Is there anybody who's having challah for the first time today?
No.
I still think we should do Shehechianu because it's the first time for various people being here and first time you've taken the Saturday service for us.
Okay, any excuse. Good.
Any excuse for Shehechianu. And we're trying to do this all together, but I'm not sure how this is going to work out.
Okay, so we'll say Hamotzi first, then we'll say Shehechianu, and then we'll have we'll have something to eat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Now you know why we don't have more than one singer at a time.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
In the leave,
Thank you very much.
for a couple of minutes of
And a big thank you to Joseph.
Oh yes.
Thanks all. See you all next Shabbat.
Thank you very much.
Can anybody hear me?
That was lovely. Thank you so much.
Bye.
I wish Adrian a long life and Alan. I remember Francis very well from my.
Pat, you can hear me, can you? Because I can't hear a thing.
Joel.
Back to long.
Shabbat shalom.
Everybody.
Shalom. Safe journey back, everyone.
Goodbye.
Yeah, safe journey back to Sri Lanka.
Pat, if you can't hear me, I'll give you a ring in a few minutes.
Everyone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Mary wants to say something.
No,
Mary.
I'm just saying bye-bye.
Nice to see you, Mary.
Just saying bye-bye. Thank you. This was a kind of reconnaissance thing for me because I spoke to Esther, and if we can get Esther geared up for it, we still could do the contemplative services.
That would be interesting because
That would be lovely.
whether it can work in a
I'm just trying to figure out how it works, and it was good for me to see what Joseph was doing. I have a keyboard, but it's not going to be terribly easy for me to set it up where I'm on my camera, but I'm working on it.
What we'd do for any service like that for the first time, we do some sound checks before, not 5 minutes before.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Okay, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Okay.
Can I just say
Shabbat shalom, guys.
Shabbat shalom, Daniel. Hannah was.
Before you go, there's a silly thing that has been set up combining all three communities. If you look through your news sheet to the camera bit at the end, it would be fun if everybody were to join in. And it's really for everybody to join in, and that's children as well as adults. So if you want to go to the more bit and just check that through, that would be really nice. And then pass that on to everybody else within the community. And the reform and the
Is that the quiz?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm hoping to do that. Which could be fun. Thank you, Pat. We'll see what we can do. And to say. Yes, Alison, hello.
I'm Alison.
I know you're Alison. Yeah.
I was wondering how Frank Gabber Smith is.
No idea. Sorry, I'm just not in contact. It might be up. You might need to ask somebody else, but I'm sure he's managing.
Oh.
Hannah, you've been very quiet today. You probably haven't had a chance. Hannah, would you like to share anything?
Me?
Yes.
Oh. Well, first of all, I would like to wish Adrian long life. And I just join in the thanks for everybody that has made this wonderful service possible. It's such fun to see faces and hear voices again.
Yeah.
Especially you, Ron. This is wonderful. You must join us more often.
I join you
I
every
must
week.
say thank you as well.
Thank you, Alison.
Can I say something?
I gotta say something.
Could I say something? Oh.
After Ron first and Rosemary.
Yeah.
Okay. I join you every week from Sri Lanka, so many people don't know. And you know, I only get a view of the beamer. I don't get a view of all of your personal faces, except seeing you leaving the sanctuary. So it's a great honor to see all of you today. And Pat and Paul, well, we had a great time together in Sri Lanka with, well, where you gone? With everybody. In any case, hopefully you'll come back one day.
Please God.
If anybody comes to Sri Lanka eventually, I can assure you it's a safe place. It's a lovely place to visit. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Thank you. Yes, Rosemary.
Am I talking now?
Yes.
Sorry, I came in late.
Yeah, where's your note?
Oh, am I talking? Does everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So sorry, I came in late. I was most impressed with the service. I suppose I came in late because I thought, the 2 weeks ago when I tried to come in, I had such difficulty getting in, and this time I managed to get in without Jeff's help. You'll be amazed to know.
Awesome, top. So good, thank you. And no complaints from you, Rosemary. Even better.
Kevin.
Yes, welcome, Janet.
Okay, Alan's gone. I'm probably now going to close. And is Janet okay, Alan? I know she's improved.
One uses it, so.
Oh, Gwendolyn
Emma's
go?
waving goodbye or something.
Okay, Gwendolyn, once again, thank you very much, and we'll obviously be in touch.
Yes. That's gone.
How is Janet?
Oh, gone now.
Yeah. Janet, I believe, is improving
Yeah, keeps
the
coming
last
back.
update, so she's got through it. Okay.
Yes, it was. Oh, that was okay.
I'm now going to end the meeting unless anyone's got anything to say. I'm going to now get something to eat myself. So I wish everyone all the best. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
I'm sure some of you I'll speak to in the week. Sadly, won't be seeing you.
What did you need?
And hopefully see as many as possible next Shabbat. Take care. I'm going to close the meeting now for the service. I'm like the caretaker locking the doors. You can hang around. Okay, bye all. Take care.
Bye bye. Thank you.